Okay, folks, look, I'm back at it again. Look, making one of my favorites, right? Listen, we're going to do a lasagna, right? But this is going to be the thing right here that changes the game. You see this right here? I'm going to use this mild Italian chicken sausage right here, just the flavor of this and this chicken. Come on, folks, let's get it. All right, folks, now you guys know if you've been watching me for a minute, and if you're new, let me say it now, all of these ingredients, the list and the instructions is on my website. That's Smokin and Grillin with AB.com, and that's WITAB.com. Okay, so what I'm doing now is, look, I'll start with a medium high, a medium flame. That's all you need. You want to start heating it up. Obviously, you guys can see I'm using cast iron. You know what I mean? I'm going to put just a little bit of this infused olive oil. This is Branch & Vine infused olive oil. This is, hey, you know what? This is garlic. I got a couple of these. You guys just see them. I usually just switch them out. I put them in the same place so I know. Sometimes I do garlic, scallion, or whatever. Now, I'm building up some heat under here. Now, when you put your olive oil inside, or any type of cooking oil, I'm gonna tell you, if you look at the actual oil, when it starts to shimmer, you know it's ready. And we don't wanna get it to smoke, but if it puff like a wave or two of little smoke, you know it's ready. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my onions. Right, so I'm gonna wait, I'm just moving this around. Now, cast iron, listen, it holds heat well. Trick part about that is, by it holding the heat, oh yeah, it's ready. It starts in the center and it's got to spread out, right? So we drop that in there. And all we want to do is just start to get this soft, right? I'm gonna make an adjustment to my fire. Let it down a little bit. That was a little hot to start, but if you're using it and you're standing right over the top, what you can do is just keep it moving. Okay, so what I'm doing now is, you just saw, I just adjusted my heat, lowered it a little bit. I'm bringing this to the center. And I'm gonna tell you why, because what I wanna do now is I wanna take my garlic, and when I press my garlic, I wanna press it right here on top. I don't want it to touch the hot, the hot pan right now. That I do not. So then when you have it on top, then you just wanna go ahead and control moving this around like this, right? Now it's always hotter right in the center. So now we're getting ready to go ahead and add we're gonna go ahead and add our meat to it and just cook everything and let everything be infused together. Now you just wanna add your meat to it right here. Okay, so look, now we got our meat. It's starting to brown and cook along with our garlic and our onion, right? If you guys come on over here, now would be a great time for you to go ahead and what you want to do is you want to preheat your oven. 350 is usually our guideline, so that's what we're going to do. Go ahead, set your oven up, and this will be a great part to, start. Okay, so listen, the real level up in this right here, because listen, we done all made lasagna. If you hadn't and you're making it like this is going to put you so far over the top. Those who've been making it before, everybody else that had it before, they're going to just say, damn, man, that's good. Listen, it's the fact that we're using a mild chicken. Listen, it's a mild chicken Italian sausage. That right there, you can substitute all your beef. You know what I mean? For those of you guys that's watching what you eat, if you're not using beef, you can use ground turkey. But ground turkey, usually when we buy it, be a little bit on the bland side unless we season it. But this already come with its own seasoning. Okay, so look, you see how this is? Let me just show you this. Once you start flipping this over, look at that. And this is the aromatic that comes off of this, folks. I promise you, just standing over this, anybody in your kitchen or around, they want to know what are you making right there. But when they smell that and you tell them you're making a lasagna, they're going to flip backwards. Now, I'm gonna suggest you guys get yourself one of these meat mashers. I'll leave a link so you guys can pick yourself up one of these. So if you guys not using cast iron, you're using one of them non-stick pans, you're not using metal utensils or nothing like that, that'll scrape the bottom and knock off that, right? So here, look at how big and chunky they are. Let me just get it so you guys can see. You see how this is. It kind of cooks that way, right? So when they big like that, this masher, get right here on top of it, give it a little twist action, and boom. Every house should have it. Listen, I use it when I do ground beef. I use it for all meats. Anything that's ground like this or cooked whole that needs to be broken up, this is what I use. So just a little bit of wrist action and you guys will be good, right? So you want to get this down, small because you want to spread this over. And don't forget, we layering it. You know what lasagna looks like, so we got to get this small and make sure we got enough. Okay, so you see how it is? I broke it all up. Now it's starting to look ground to y'all, huh? Small pieces. We got to hit it with tomato sauce, paste, and all of that. Look at that right there. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Meat masher. You know what I mean? I hope that's really like the name for it, but that's what I call it. we don't have to ingest none of that stuff. It depends on the pot you're using. Using cast iron, you can, you guys are more than welcome to use metal utensils, but it's best to have soft things anyway. It just helps out. Now, what we're gonna do is, I think now I'm gonna go ahead and just start adding my sauce to it, right? So I use my spatula, to get everything out of here, right? Now on this one here, I ain't gonna worry about getting it all out because I got a trick for it. Save one of your cans back, right? All right, so with this in here, now I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a mix just to get it going. I wanna get this heated up because we're getting ready to come with tomato paste. You guys know how thick it is and how dense it is and all of that. You know what I mean? So we just do it like this. Look at that right there. Ooh, my goodness, folks. Now this is what I'm talking about. See how everything is starting to heat up? We're starting to come to a little bit of a boil, right? The reason I want it done like that is because we gotta melt this paste, right? So I'm gonna bring the paste in, put in about 12 ounces, right? So we'll put it in like that, get this in here. And so what it does is just help get it all, get it to melt and infuse with everything. Right, so we got it like this. Now I can move this around and it's not just relying on the center part. It's warm everywhere and it just helps. Look how it's dissipating real fast. Okay, now listen, you guys follow my chili recipe. You knew that the cinnamon was like the secret weapon, right? So here, I got a measurement because listen, when you're dealing with cinnamon, it's real tricky. So you want to be nice and precise. So this is all I'm doing. Just adding that. This is 1/8 of a teaspoon. Don't forget, the full ingredient list is on my website, Smokin and Grillin with AB.com, and that's WITAB.com. You see that right there? That's about all that I put in here as far as the heat go. For you guys that like to have a lot of heat, you go ahead and put as much red chili flakes as you would like. And then for the Italian seasoning, we get over here like that. Now, this is lasagna, folks, so we're gonna put a little bit of this in here. This right here is gonna be fire. Once I get this mixed up, I'm gonna taste it and find out how much salt I would like to add to it. And don't forget, we creating dishes and doing things where we don't add a whole lot of salt to it, right? Salt is only used really, if you guys wanna know the correct application for it, is to enhance the flavor that you guys already put in here, right? So let's get this in here. Let's get this to start to marry and cook under this heat, right? Oh, one more thing. Before I go ahead and taste, I got this in here like that. You wanna get yourself some chicken stock. Now remember I said save one of these right here because this is gonna be the exact measurement we're gonna use, right? So shook that up, fill this like this. Now listen, some people put water in there like that, but you guys know that anytime there's anything that calls for water, we always gonna level it up with some type of stock, right? So come here, start adding, start stirring, stop spilling. All of that, right? Man, this cast iron I thought was gonna be big enough. I have a larger, we call it a frying pan. That's what it is. That's what I should have made it in. So this is gonna cause me to have a little finesse, which is a good thing. Okay, I just tasted this, right? So I'm gonna add just about a tablespoon of sugar to it. This is to give it that balance, right? To balance the acidity that's in the inside. And before you guys start hitting me down at the bottom in that comment section, I'm gonna say this: no, it don't taste sweet. You can't taste that. Listen, it's a balance. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just add one. Look, this is it. One. That's what I call just like a good, generous pinch of salt. That's all I need. Okay, so listen. Now I got my water up to, it's already boiling, right? And now you want to get yourself a handful of these. Now what you want to do is make sure that you prepare your noodles to the instructions on the package, right? So for me, that particular brand, 8 minutes. Now, look right down here. We always talking about leveling up. You guys know I'm a #1 fan of Hoffy, chicken and gooey sausage. So this is what I'm gonna do. And we using chicken Italian sausage in the inside. You know what I mean? So this is how we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut this down. You only need one. You see this? You see the color inside of there? Look at the flavor. That tells you, look how it's seasoned. It's throughout. I promise you guys, this is the only sausage that I really like to use. You know what I mean? You can see that orange and all that. This is the money right here. So what I'm doing is now I'm cutting this down a little bit more on the fine side, and I'm gonna add that inside, of my lasagna sauce, right? So this is what we're gonna have. When I say we level up and we build layers on top of layers on top of layers, this is what I mean. So just stay with me. I'm not gonna cut the camera, no nothing. I'm done right now. Right, we got them like this. Now I'll just take it right here and just drop it in there. You see it's still on like a little simmer. You know what I mean? So we'll get this to cook a little bit and release that andouille, all that orange seasoning that you saw in there. And don't forget, that's chicken andouille, folks. Okay, so listen, we got a timer, we going. Like I said, for my particular brand that I'm using, my pasta noodle, it's gonna go 8 minutes. Right here is a good time for you guys to go ahead and just shred, you know. Now, because I'm making lasagna, I'm using like the bigger size. You know what I mean? It's gonna be in the oven for a minute. All of this is gonna melt. So I'll just take it and just do this. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm not gonna bore you guys. You guys know how to do it. You know what I mean? Just shred. Anytime that you can shred your own cheese, I promise you it'll be better. Okay, so I shredded some cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this up like this. We see this might just be enough, you know, so I'm gonna set this off to the side, right? Normally, you know, I don't ever shred on the big side, but because it's lasagna, let's do it. Okay, so everything is done. I got my noodles, my pasta. I got it. What I did was I just filled up my pot, overflowed it, let it get cool, and just leave it in there so they don't stick together, right? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some non-stick spray. You guys can see I like to use Pam. I'm just gonna give it a light spray. You don't need no whole lot, right? I'll set that here. Now, let me go ahead and get me a spoon. Like this will be fine. So I wanna get everything over here close to it. You know what I mean? Try to make the least amount of a mess, you know? So what I'm gonna do is now I'm just gonna go ahead and get myself a spoonful, just like you see, and I'm gonna just put it here. I'm gonna take the back of this and just work this around. Might need just a little bit more. Let me just do it like this. This is where we're gonna lay the bed of, you know, pasta on like this. Now, once you have your layer down, this part right here is self-explanatory, right? So what I'm doing is I'm reaching off the camera, I'm just grabbing it, shaking them dry as much as possible, just so I don't get so much water inside of here. And I just add them like this, right? Real simple. Now you notice this is a 13 by 9, right? So my pasta don't reach all the way to the other side. All right, so I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take one. If you guys watch me do, what is that, peach cobbler, you know I'll just put it like this, and then we'll just make a cut. All right, I'll just take it, see if I can get it to stay here. No, it'll be better if I just use my kitchen shears. Right, I'll set this off that way, and we'll just take it like this. Okay, so look, I'm taking sour cream. I'm gonna add some sour cream here. Now, I'm using sour cream and cream cheese mix. Why? Because I'm actually making this for somebody, and they don't like ricotta cheese. Some of you guys don't like ricotta cheese, so this is how we're gonna do that, right? So I'll just take that, take room temperature cream cheese, right? Now I'm gonna get a whisk and I'm gonna go ahead and mix all of that up together. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna put a little bit, this part take a little bit of finesse. You don't wanna use all of this up. You just wanna get yourself like a nice little layer, right? That's enough for this layer right here. You don't wanna run out. It really depends on how many layers you're gonna put on here, right? So now we'll take that. We're gonna take our spatula and move that around. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? I got myself, you know, my spatula, and all I'm doing is I'm just getting me some coverage. You know what I mean? You just want like a nice little thin layer. Don't use too much because it depends on how many layers you're doing. You want to have enough, right? Now, when you spread, it should look like that. This one right here, I'm just gonna show you. I'm not gonna bore you. This is really like the, you know, the main one, right? So it's pasta, you know, it's your pasta. Then we come with our cream, whichever one you want to do, or your ricotta cheese, however. And then you want to add some of your meat sauce. Here, I told you guys I like mine meaty. So I'll look and see where I'm at. It doesn't make a difference that I'm using this one. I don't have to use a new one. Why? Because all of this is getting mixed up together anyway. So we just do it just like you see. And I can see how much I have. You know what I mean? So we'll just add some more here. Maybe just a little bit right there. Right? And then we'll just spread it. All right, now we come with your mozzarella, right? So we add it here. And listen, I'm gonna ask you guys, don't be so heavy. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I get a little way out there with the cheese, right? You do whatever you would like to do on your end. You know what I mean? But this right here, looking good. Almost looking like I'm making a pizza, huh, folks? Okay, so now that I got the mozzarella down, now I'm gonna come with my parm, right? Look at that right there. Look at the coverage I'm getting. Don't need a whole lot. You know, parm got that distinct taste to it. But this is what we talking about leveling up. Just the fact that we use chicken and gooey. You know what I mean? Then we use that ground mild chicken sausage. Come on, folks. All right, and then what we're gonna do now is just add another layer to it, right? Same thing we just did. Then all you do is repeat as many layers as you wanna use. And then when you're done, I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. All right, so once you're done, you see I'm layered up. You can even see the Parmesan that's on the top of there, you know. So look, I got myself, we're gonna put it in the oven and we're gonna have it covered. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my pan and just spray the top. You guys know why I'm doing that, right? That's so that this cheese don't stick to it. I'm not gonna cover it all the way tight like that. I just put it on like that. Bring this around, come around this like that. You see how it's like a little puffy right there? That's okay. Now, I made it, you know, they're kind of like thick layers, right? So when I do it like this, that's good. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a pro tip. Now, the pro tip is, look, I put a pan underneath the bottom of there. I put a little water in there. You know what I mean? The water just so that when this overflows, it depends on how deep your dish is. You know, we put that over the top. Just make it so that we don't get all that smoke. It doesn't hit the bottom. Just a little bit of a tip, right? I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna set a timer for 1 hour. Remember, we cover it, and I got a catch pan on the bottom. I'll see you then. Okay, so listen, it's been 1 hour. I already closed it up, but I gotta make sure I show you guys. 1 hour is covered, right? So I'm gonna open this up. You guys can look at that right there. Notice no cheese pool off the top or nothing like that. That's because we sprayed our foil, right? When you do that, it come out right. And just because I went ahead and put this on the bottom, it's not even dripping like it normally would. So now we're just gonna keep it covered for about 10 to 12 minutes just to brown up the top of the cheese. And after that, then we're gonna take it out and we finna wrap this video up. Okay, folks, look, this is done right here. Look at that right there. Now, I want you guys to picture this. When it's soft like this, it's nice and hot. Look, you can see it right there, it's still bubbling in there. If I cut this right now, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. When I put it on a plate, it's gonna look crazy. You know what I mean? So listen, we gotta let this set and sit up for a minute. But also, I said in this video too, this here is really not for myself. It's just some people over here on the block asked me to make it. They got the ingredients and I said, you know what, I'm gonna film it. I'm gonna turn it into a star. Yes, I did. So listen, you guys see it. Let me take a few pictures of it like that, and we're gonna let it set. I'm gonna go ahead and the thumbnail you guys will see. I have it'll have a nice slice on there. Just let me go ahead and get it, let it set up for a minute, and there you have it. That's that over the top ooh-wee lasagna. Okay, so look, I went ahead and took a piece out of here. They said I could have a piece out of it, you know what I mean? Just because of the fact that I was making a video. But when you don't let it set, it needs to sit, cool down, you know what I mean? For us to take a picture so it'll stay like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you guys can see the layers. You can see the chunkiness of the meat. I promise you, don't let the look, only because of, it's still hot, fool you. This right here is fire, folks. So now I'm finna go in here and get me some of this right here. Ooh, my goodness. You know what? So I'm not talking over the product. We'll put it like that. But check this out, folks. Ooh. Cheers, y'all. So listen, I always say it ain't fair, you know what? Because I get to create greatness, right here in front of you guys, but I love the fact that I get to show it and you guys come back and take the time to, drop your comments. This right here is fire. Listen, look at your local grocery store and you want to get you some of that mild chicken Italian, meat. That's it. It's ground meat, ground sausage, however you want to call it. But listen, that right there does it. And if you really want to level it up, for those of you guys that can find a Hoffy brand of chicken and gooey, all of that in here and that Parmesan, Listen, there's a lot of that, and just to marry, just because it's all married and cooked right, I'm going to take another picture of this so you guys can see what these slices and these layers look like. But with that being said, now listen, if you're new to my channel, let me take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. I'm finna wrap this with foil and get this down the street, or actually call them so they can pick it up, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.